This is footage straight off an iPhone, and this is the same footage after color grading. JMO here. We've all got shots like this, dark, muddy, flat, the ones you never post. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to bring a shot like this back and understand why the process works. No special settings, no fancy gear, just an iPhone and DaVinci Resolve, which is free. 5 parts: exposure, white balance, contrast, color, and glow. So I shot this one in a museum in Seoul, and it was a beautiful building, big circular foyer, very bright, very white, and just beautiful to stand there and peer down. That is the feeling that I want to bring back. Not what the iPhone gave me, but how it actually felt to stand there. That is our goal for this color grade. So what are we actually starting with here? What have we got? This will make more sense once I explain it to you. So a neutral color is just an equal reading of those 3 channels: red, green, and blue. If I hover up to gray, you can see we've got between 150 and 200. And then if I go to my whites, we've got 240, 250 for red, green, and blue. So if I go back to my image here, let's just hover over the white area. You can see when I hover over, we're getting around 200 on the RGB. So those whites are actually reading as gray. They're not actually white. We need to introduce brightness to this image. And one other thing you'll notice is the red and the green is sitting a little bit higher than the blue. So hold that thought, because we'll fix that in the next node. Let's add that brightness. I'm going to push this much further than people would tell you safe. Keep an eye on those 3 windowsills at the top here. So you can see as I'm pushing up, just about, let's keep going. Okay, so there, the window frames are starting to blend with the white wall. We're starting to lose the detail. You'll hear the rule all the time about don't blow out your highlights. That is true. And it's very relevant for shots with things with clouds, the sky, the sun, bright areas where once you push it so far, it will blow out and you will lose that detail. Here we've got a big open white room, so we don't necessarily have those specific highlights to blow out, but the one thing I am protecting here are those window frames. I want to maintain the detail so we can see and differentiate that they are windows. So that's the limit of this shot. That's where I'm going to push it to. So that's the takeaway here. We pick a part of the image that we can't afford to lose and we push it up to that point. And because we've pushed the whole signal right up to the top end of the waveform, we'll come back later and we'll roll those highlights off. I'll show you exactly how we do that, where we can target the top end without impacting the rest of the image. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do here is I'm just going to add a film emulation. Now I'm not going to go into the detail on how to set this up. If you do want to know how to do this in detail, click the video above, and I talk about that in the previous video. Now, remember earlier when we lifted the offset, we were lifting all 3 channels together. Here, we're going to isolate the red, the green, and the blue channels. So make sure you've selected your gamma as linear, and also make sure your lume mix is 0. You can just head into your project settings, go to general options, and you can see here, lume mix defaults to 0. Just click that and press save. Let's make a small adjustment. I do just want to cool the whites down. Now, because we had that film look, it's actually cleaned it up pretty well, and we don't need to make as big an adjustment. But I'm just going to pull down the red, pull down the green a little bit, and I'm just keeping an eye on the image. I like to cool it off a bit. It kind of works with the bright white airy feel of this shot. Very subtle change, but I've just cooled it down a touch with that white balance node. All right, let's move over to the contrast node here. Usually when I'm adding contrast into an image, what I'll start to do is I'll start pulling down the lift, and then I'll start pushing up the gain, and maybe I'll even add a bit of contrast here. That's how I would usually bring contrast into an image, but it's actually not working for this shot. There's something not quite right. And what's happening is, because I've pushed that whole signal right up, when I start pulling down on the lift, basically I'm pulling the image back down, and it's starting to make it look a little bit muddy, and I don't have any room at the top end to push up the gain, so that doesn't work. This doesn't look quite right. I want to keep the whites as high as possible. So I'm going to use another tool where we can apply contrast in very specific targeted areas. Okay, so if we just go into our curves here, we've got our custom curves, and this is where we're going to dial in our contrast. So let me just lock off the top end, and I'll just put a few more points on the actual graph. And I'm just going to start pulling down the lower. Now, if you keep an eye on the image, you can see the darker regions, the windows and the floor, they're getting darker. And the rest of the image is staying exactly where I want it. And that gives us separation between the wall and the windows. So before and after. So you can see there, we've made a very targeted contrast adjustment. The whites have stayed bright and white. So that's dialing in contrast using luminance values. But there's actually another way you can add contrast to a shot, and that's by using color. So I'll show you that a little bit later. Okay, so next up, we'll just add another node, and we're going to name this one color slice. So our color slice tool is a tool in DaVinci, which allows us to isolate specific vectors. Because we shot inside, there's actually some ceiling lights at the top of this circular foyer. And it's pushing in yellow and color casts and all different things. It's very subtle in the image, but let's see if I just if I turn on my highlight tool and press yellow, you can see we've got some subtle yellow in those whites. Let's try skin, which is going to be orange. So there's actually a lot of orange there. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just strip out those colors just to make sure our whites are perfectly white. Let me just pull down the oranges, pull down yellow, and then pull down the green. So I'm actually going to come back to the color slice at the very end of the tutorial, and we're going to make some fine-tune adjustments, which is going to bring this all together. So because we've pulled down the reds and the oranges, you can actually see the floor has also become desaturated. So we'll make some targeted adjustments there in the following nodes. Okay, so the next node is going to be split toning. So what is split toning? Split toning allows you to isolate a certain luminance range, so shadows or highlights, and add a color into those regions. So for example, you can add blue into your shadows, or you can add orange into your highlights. So for this image, I'm gonna add blue into the shadows, because if I have a look at this image, the darkest parts here are the windows, and the windows are actually already a little bit blue. So by adding blue into the shadows, we're going to accentuate the blues in those shadow regions, i.e. we're going to make the windows more blue. So I'll head up to my effects. I'll just grab split toning. If I head up to custom, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put the pivot into the middle, into 0.5. I'm going to pull down the strength on the highlights because I don't want to impact any of the highlights. Pull down the strength on the shadows, and let's just find our hue. If I keep an eye on the windows here, as I go back and forth, you can see the windows changing. So I want to find out where it's mostly teal and blue, and then I'm just going to bump up the strength a little bit. If I have a look now, before, you can see they were kind of magenta. We've now made the shadow regions more blue. Now, split toning, usually you're adding in a contrasting color into the other side. So you'd be adding in oranges or something warm into the highlights. This image, I'm actually going to do it a little bit different. Remember earlier when I said we're going to bring in a different type of contrast? So I'm going to target the floor here. Okay, so we've got our select on the floor, and then I'm going to head here to the tracker, and we're just going to track this back and forth. Now I want to make the floor orange and warmer. So let's head over. I'm going to do this using the white balance here. So let's just make the floor, get it about there. Now the color's not quite right. If I pull up my vector scope, you can see it's shooting away off there towards yellow. I actually want this to be more on that actual skin tone line. So what I'll do is I'll head over to color slice, and I'm just going to drag those yellows up to the skin tone line to red, orange. Pull the saturation down a little bit, increase the density, dial in the perfect color that we want. Now it's starting to come together. You can see the floor is starting to contrast with the blue, but there's still a little bit of work to do, so let's keep moving. Remember earlier when I said we're going to target the top end of the signal? We're going to head into our curves, and we're just going to roll off. So I'm going to lock in the highlights there, and then I'll just start bringing this down. Pull them down a little bit. This will be obvious why I'm doing this in another couple of nodes, but for now, let's just do before and after. So you can see the whole image gets more of a softer, flatter look. Those whites that are sitting really, really high just become a bit more muted, a bit softer, and that is what we've done there with our highlight roll off. This next one, this is the only studio feature in this grade. This is contrast pop. This contrast pop is going to allow us to get more of a separation between the windows and the white wall. Let's have a look here with contrast pop. You can see as I pull it to the right, the detail amount, the walls are starting to separate from the windows, and you're starting to see much more separation and really see the detail. So I don't want to overdo it because it's quite powerful, this contrast pop. So before and then after with our contrast pop, subtle, but it actually makes such a big difference in the image. Okay, so next one, I'm actually going to head over here to our film look and add a node after it. This one is our glow. If I head over to effects, you can see we've got our glow effect here. Now, what do I want to do with this image? You're probably thinking, where are you going to put glow? Everything is so bright and white. You know, if I start adding glow, everything's just going to start blowing out and looking ridiculous. But if you look closely at the image, have a look at the actual windowsills. You can see that all the windowsills are actually looking like they're glowing already. So when I was looking at this shot, I kind of noticed all the windowsills. I've got that extra little bit of brightness. Using our glow tool, we're going to accentuate that, and we're going to really bring out that glow on the windowsills. So obviously that's way too much. So I'm just going to bring the shine threshold right up. Now we've got all the windows are glowing, but I just want to, that's too much. So I'm just going to bring the gain down, and I'm going to bring the gamma down. So I'm really just fine tuning on the windowsills and the top edge. You can see before, zoom into those windowsills, after, you can see they're just starting to pop out. Now, do keep in mind, we are editing iPhone footage here, so we don't have loads of control, but I actually like that. So we've got the windows darkened, the windowsills popping with the glow, and yeah, it's all coming together. Okay, so remember earlier when I said we were going to come back to the color slice? This is where we're going to do our final piece of color work. Now have a look at the blue on the vectorscope. You can see it's just sitting as a bit of a blob, just kind of cyan, blue. What I want to do is I just want to get that all dialed in so it's sitting on one nice blue line. So how do we do that? Well, let's head to our cyan here, and I'm going to go to blue. So you can see now I'm pushing it in, and then I'm going to push up the saturation on the blues. Okay, so now you can see on the vectorscope before and after, you can see that that blob of blue is now pushed into one nice line across the cyan, but now they've all lined up and they're all looking blue. So that was our shot straight out of the iPhone, and then that's our shot after color grading. So you can see we've taken something that was very dark, very muddy, and we've transformed it into something really bright, beautiful, and exactly where I wanted to take this image. And if you want to color grade faster inside DaVinci Resolve, I've built a power grade pack, over 80 drag and drop grades for Resolve, plus 6 custom looks you can drag straight onto your log footage. The link is in the description below. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next video.